Well, why am I wearing a hoodie in 80-degree Florida weather? Well, I got two options. I can run the heat or the air conditioning stuck on high. Well, you know which one I chose. I chose the air conditioning. Hey, join us today as we diagnose this Polar pickup truck today on Tech Garage.
Hey there, welcome to another edition of Tech Garage presented by RockAuto.com. We brought this Toyota truck in because it was blowing high on the air conditioning. Now, John, I don't mind that at all. That's the way I run it all the time. I didn't know there were any other settings, but I'm sure that means there was something wrong here with our system, and we want to take a look at that because that's not going to last very long if you're just running it on turbo the entire time.
Yeah, you got that right. And you know what? This is a pretty small cab pickup truck. I lost the jacket now, but you can get pretty cold in there. These Toyotas blow really, really cold. So high, stuck on high is not going to work. Better than the heat, though. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about that. So what's our plan of attack here?
Well, what we did is we actually know it's something to do with the blower motor resistors. So the best thing we can do is go over the evolution of blower motors. And it all started right here with the old school blower motor. Now, you've seen this before on Tech Garage. We actually have it on one of our demos. And what happens is the electricity comes in and it goes through these resistors. And as it goes through these resistors, it actually drops voltage. So for example, Dave, if I started up with 12, that would go straight to the blower motor. I'd bypass this. That's what we're having here, kind of on high. We're not really concerned with this. So I'm leaning towards one of these, but this would drop it down to about 8. It would go a little slower. If I go through 2 of them, I may drop it down to like 5 or 6. That would go even slower. If we went through all 3 of them, we may drop down to 2 or 3. I don't know what the voltage is, but we did it last year. You looked at it with the voltmeter, and what happened is it starts going very, very slow. We're dropping all that voltage. Well, it gets hot when it does that. That's the old school.
Yeah, the system has evolved since then.
It sure has, and this is a new one here. This is just basically a computer chip with a big heat sink. So what's happening here, this is pulse width modulation. So think about the blower motors on high. Once again, we can bypass this. I'm not worried about it. But if we switch to the other speeds, let's just say, for example, 50% was medium, that blower motor would go vroom, vroom, vroom. You don't know it, but it's just pulse width modulating, and that would be medium. Maybe 20% on, 80% off would be low. I don't know what it is, but that would do it. Now yours, on the other hand,
sure,
yours looks just like that.
Yeah, and this is just a newer version of what we just saw there with the resistors. Everything is basically on a giant chip, and it all runs through that, but that creates a lot of heat and a lot of voltage. So that's where the problem could lie, especially with the connectors. So we should take a look and see if that's our problem.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The problem with this is, Dave, it's under the dash. I mean, like really up under the dash. And
yeah, you're a pretty big guy, so it's good.
Yeah.
I think you can do it, though.
No, I said it's under the dash. I need somebody your size to get up under there. I'll tell you what, why don't you take a peek and tell me what's going on?
I knew this was going to happen, John, so I'm actually ahead of you here. I already took the glove compartment out, and it's still going to be hard for me to get to, but that's so you can kind of see where this is oriented now. And the connector's way up here in the back, so let's see if we can wrestle that out of there. There we go. All right, so yeah, there's the female side. John, you can look and see that this is a little bit burnt. That could be indicative of a problem there. Yeah,
it's probably a problem, but you know, Dave, here at Tech Garage, we're always want to read a schematic. We want to make sure we got power going to it. We don't want to do any shotgun repairs.
Yes, sir.
And I
have one of those.
Man, you cheated. You're way ahead of me.
Yes, sir.
And by the way, you pulled out the glove box. You don't even have to get upside down.
And by the way, we should mention that if RockAuto.com does sell both sides of the connector, the male and the female, to make sure that if you have to replace it, you're going to get a perfect connection.
And that's good, because this could be a problem failure, especially with these cars. But hey, I'll tell you what, we know strategy-based diagnosing, we know that we have at least 12 volts going down to the system. How do we know that? Well, it's blowing on high. It wouldn't do that. So we also know our blower motor's running. That's working because we have high. We also know our fuse is good because we have high. I like to look at components that are good to find components that are bad. So Dave, if you just switch it over there to let's go on low. That should feed down a blue and white wire.
You got the key on there, so
there
we'll go
to low.
Yep,
turn the key, turn it all the way on. One more click, I think.
One more click?
Yep, one more click. We'll get it all the way on. There we go.
Right, there we go. Okay.
Then we got power going down to it. So what we're going to do is you go to the blue and white, and I'll cheat with you. I'll show you how to do that.
We need to find a ground too.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, we got the alligator clip here. John, I found metal on a modern car. That's hard to do.
There's a first.
Yeah.
My God, it's not a Corvette.
We'd be in big trouble.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so if you hold that connector view and you orientate that with the clip up,
Dave,
clip up, it should be the second one from the left. You should have a blue and a white wire.
And I'm set to volts.
There you go. You got the meter set to volts, and hopefully we're pumping 12 volts there.
And that is, yeah,
Bam.
11.9, we're right at 12, yep.
11.9212, that's good. So
enough.
that's telling us we're not feeding anything through that chip itself now. I'm a gambling man, so, you know, with that burnt connector and the chip being under there, I would just go ahead, let's replace it. I'll go get a demo set up with Josh. I'll show how everything works under there because you can't see anything, but hey, good luck, my friend.
Well, an easy way to get to this is actually to use your phone as a camera here, and I've got it on selfie mode, and I can look up underneath here and I can see where this is situated, and as I look, I can see where the bolts are. I did cheat a little bit, look in a manual, and found out these are 5.5 millimeter bolts, so there's 2 of those. You're just going to run those down, and we will switch out the connectors, and we'll be all set. So we're going to go to break. When we come back, though, John and Josh are going to explain how this entire system works. We'll be right back with more Tech Garage presented by RockAuto.com.